In 1781, General Charles Cornwallis, the commanding officer of the British forces, he found himself trapped in a precarious position at Yorktown, Virginia. He was unfamiliar with the local terrain and the resilient tactics of the Continental Army. As a result, Cornwallis and his troops faced a formidable challenge as they attempted to defend their position against a combined force of American and French troops under General George Washington and General Comte de Rochambeau. The British, accustomed to traditional open field warfare, struggled to adapt to the unique conditions of the Yorktown Peninsula. The marshy and heavily wooded terrain surrounding the British fortifications hindered their ability to maneuver effectively, while the combined American and French forces, leveraging their knowledge of the local landscape, orchestrated a strategic encirclement of the British position. As the siege unfolded, the British forces, confined to their entrenched positions and facing increasingly dire logistical challenges, found themselves vulnerable to the relentless bombardment and precision artillery fire from the American and French artillery batteries. The unfamiliar terrain and the unyielding siege tactics employed by the Allied forces tested the British resolve and exposed their weaknesses. The Siege of Yorktown ended in a decisive victory for the American and French forces. As Cornwallis, recognizing the untenable situation, he surrendered his army on October 19, 1781. The defeat at Yorktown marked a turning point in the American Revolutionary War and ultimately led to the recognition of American independence. The Siege of Yorktown serves as an important historical example of the perils of underestimating the impact of unfamiliar battle style and terrain, as well as the failure to adapt to changing warfare dynamics. It underscores the critical role that adaptability, understanding of local conditions, and the ability to counter unconventional tactics play in determining the outcome of significant military engagement throughout history. Welcome, and thank you for joining me here today. This is Bora Bliss. For many years, we have been fed the lie that a woman is weak, and she's usually called the weaker sex, and that she has nothing to offer in the grand scheme of things. And unfortunately, many women have taken or fallen for the bait. And in a desperate attempt to make meaning of their world and to prove themselves, they have been lured into the boxing ring of life to fight, approach, and handle life from a man's perspective and to fight the way a man does. Like I have mentioned repeatedly in my previous videos, that ultimately men and women are made of the same essence, but only expressed differently. And it is these expressed differences that gives rise to our uniqueness. And it is what tells us that women are crafted, designed, and packaged for different roles, responsibilities, and tasks. And as such, Our fighting style and engaging with the world will look different from a man. It is generally agreed that a man is strong and fierce. But what about a woman? A woman is also strong and fierce, but her strength and her fierceness will look different from that of a man. But it still does not negate the fact that it's a kind of strength and fierceness that only a woman can display on full blast. A woman may not be as physically strong as a man, but it should not be taken as a sign of weakness. But on the contrary, it proves that she has and operates under a different type of universal law that accords her strength and stamina that is unmatched by a man. We can look through history and see numerous tales where it took only a woman to bring down a very powerful man. Since we can all agree that we are expressed differently, it is only wise to assume the reality that we cannot engage this life and all its many battles in the same way. If a woman decides or chooses to battle in the arena of life like a man, then I'm sorry to burst your bubble and bring you the bad news. She will utterly fail and be defeated, with nothing but shame and scorn as her reward in the end. The reason being that you cannot fight and expect to win a battle in an unfamiliar territory. You cannot fight a man's fight and expect to win because your design does not support that style of fighting and engagement with the world. The sooner a woman realizes this truth, then 50% of her battle is already secured. She must understand, she must also acknowledge, and she must become a master of her own inbuilt weapons and her own water rings. She must master her own kind of war, her own kind of boxing ring, where a man cannot and will never be able to overpower or win her. I must say that I am in no way advocating for violence or disrespect towards men. I'm only saying that women have engaged the battles of life like men for far too long and have ended up being burnt in the process. This is the time for women to reclaim their strengths by aligning with their unique designs and core makeup. A woman has strengths, skills, and abilities that a man may struggle to utilize. But they come very naturally and easily to a woman. My question to women then is this: why not master what comes naturally to you? Why use weapons that do not complement you or come natural for you? When you use the battle tactics of a man, you will struggle, and the man will most likely win because you fight in his terrain, a terrain that works naturally for him and that suits his design and his makeup. So, as a woman, you must learn, master, and strengthen these naturally given gifts that have been bestowed upon you as a woman on earth. When you master these abilities, you can then begin to effortlessly win your battles. And the man you will also win to your side for good or for bad. I want to also point out that a lot of women, unfortunately, look at their makeup, look at the gifts that they have been endowed with. A lot of them look at it as a curse or a weakness. But this is far from the truth. It's all about accepting who you are, accepting your makeup, accepting your design. And when you accept your design, you're more able to flow with it, to walk with it to your advantage. You cannot make something work for you that you do not accept. But when you accept it, then you can make it work for you. Then you can master it. And when you master it, then you can win your battles. Some virtues, skills, and abilities which are more pronounced and can be more easily assessed and utilized by women includes the following: a greater sense of intuition, a higher sense of empathy, a greater sense of creativity, greater sense of compassion, the ability to multitask without breaking. Women possess a mental and psychological toughness and strength. Women can be very patient and long suffering. Women are natural tension diffusers. They also have the ability to influence. And women can also be master manipulators. They're very adaptable. They have the ability to carry and give birth to life. And women also have the ability to hold deep secrets. And there's a depth that women carry. And we can look at the earth and we can see that a lot of secrets lies within the earth. There's a depth that the earth has. And you can see that reflected in the woman as well, because the woman carries the feminine energy, which we can learn a lot from the earth. And also there's the ability for a woman to be very spiritually inclined. And that's why a lot of times when you look at most of the major religions of the earth, you will find out that women are the ones who populate it the most because they're more spiritually inclined. So these are some of the things that women have working for them. Not to say a man cannot have these things, but a lot of these things are more easily accessible and available to women. And last but not the least, a woman is naturally a mother. Not to say all women are mothers, but it comes natural for them to act in that capacity. And you can look further and come up with more things that you think women are good at. So again, this is not a curse. This is not a weakness. This is your makeup. And the sooner you realize this, the better. So you can use it for your advantage. So if a woman strengthens these virtues, skills, and abilities, she'll be able to use it to her advantage, like I've been saying, to defeat whatever she considers a threat. Because she'll be fighting according to her unique design in her own territory and on her own terms, according to her design. In this way, she's able to encourage and balance the male energy. When she walks and operates in her strengths and in her design, it will curb the excessive male energy force that we see running amok today. I want to tell women that it's time for them to begin to walk and to operate in their strengths. When we women do that, we can create more balance and harmony between the two energetic systems at work. which will ultimately benefit and bring balance within ourselves, our world, and all of nature at large. Women can learn from the story I told at the very beginning of this discussion, where the Allied forces were able to defeat the British forces because the British forces were unfamiliar with the American soil and ultimately led to the um, independence, the freedom of America that we know today. So, if women can learn from that story, hopefully it would prevent a loss, a big loss that is surely to ensue when they engage battles in unfamiliar territory, when they engage in battles that is not unique to their style, when they engage in battles that is contrary to their design and makeup. This discussion that I have presented here today, it aims to encourage women to understand, to accept, to appreciate, and also to become masters of utilizing their unique strengths in design and makeup. And it's also my hope that it will be a catalyst for further discussions and inquiry amongst women to take hold of and to masterfully navigate through life. During this brief discussion, I have spoken in general terms. It is your responsibility to see what aligns with your life and your personality and to put into practice what you think or feel will benefit you and the entire human race. Thank you so much and God bless you. And don't forget to subscribe, connect with others, comment, and share. I hope to see you next time. Thank you again, and God bless you. Bye bye.